Good morning, everyone. It is 5:08 a.m. I almost got a full week at home. Got home from duck camp, got some much needed family time in, and now we're in the truck, Strikey, and now if you can see, Strike. We're heading out east. So we're going to the Great American Outdoor Show. I've spoke at this show, I want to say 5 or 6 years now in a row. And what's really neat about this is that, through the kennel, we have specifically puppy clients all over the country. And I see a lot of customers here, and which is really neat to have that, face-to-face time, get updates on how puppies are doing. It's really a fun time for that. But now through Retriever Roadmap, now even more so, we have literally clients all over the world. And so again, interesting to get to meet people face to face, get to have that one-on-one time. Really neat, so much more impactful for me rather than everything over a computer. And so I love this. So it is a long drive for me, and so we're gonna push probably like 12-13 hours today. There's one spot I really like to get to that is just outside of Pittsburgh. And one of the challenges that I have while I'm driving is getting to pet-friendly hotels. It used to be, I traveled a bunch in the past too. It used to be where I could just drive until I get tired, pull off, and I could take the dogs anywhere, but it's just not like that anymore. And so finding a place that can be pet-friendly and I can get the dogs in no problem. Sometimes they end up being service dogs. But it's just to get these guys in, especially when it's so cold. So you might have a question of why is Strike in the cab versus in the kennel, especially because I preach so much that the kennel is the safest place for them to ride, and it has everything to do with the temperature outside. So it is -6 right here right now, and it's just not safe for him to be back there. So he's gonna hang in here with me. We're gonna have great conversation, I'm sure, the whole way, and I'll keep you guys posted on our travels. So we're in Pennsylvania, heading over to the show, but first we're gonna stop and have an experience, from what I'm told. So I don't know if you can see Strikey back there. So one of the things we do when we travel, we have the kennels that I go in and out with, so I don't have to lug the kennel up and down the stairs to and from the hotel room, to and from the show booth. I put one in the booth, that way he can go in the kennel, doesn't have to get disturbed by people trying to touch him all day long, and then one in the hotel room. So he gets to ride in the back seat, to and from all the the shows and all the traveling. But here's the experience I'm having today. I've never had this experience. We are going to Waffle House. So first Waffle House experience coming up.
What so proudly we hail at the starlight's last gleaming.
All right. So here, Strike and I are at the show, and if you look around me here, you can see how big of an arena this is. So today we speak 2 to 3. And most of this arena will be packed, and there'll be people just kind of like this that just stand along the side. So what's interesting here is a few things that we do at the show. So this is kind of neat here at this show. There's a big screen up here. so people that maybe don't have the best view can still see. But there's some interesting things that go on here. So first off, these dogs, they can get a little stage fright just like people, and Strike has kind of been that way here this week. So I've been just bringing him out here early, getting him retrieves, getting him kind of acclimated to this. It's no different than a person, right? The more they do this, the more comfortable they're going to get. But then there's a lot of variables that you don't necessarily plan for. So along this edge right here, inevitably there will be multiple people that will start, hey, come here, calling for him. So he has to be very obedient to me and tune out a lot of different distractions. And so more time in this space is always a good thing. But then too, this space, although it may look, maybe it doesn't look that big in this camera, it's not very big. It's big enough to feel just like right now. I don't know if you hear that. They're calling for him or whistling for him right there. He's looking at him, but he's not moving. Obedience. Just one more reason that obedience is so important. But there's a lot that goes into this. It's way more than just coming out here and trying to speak. We come out here with a plan, we come out here with a message, and then we kind of tweak it accordingly. But here you can see, I'll flip this around and maybe show our retrieve here so we can have some fun. So let's do this. All right, there's a boy. Give him a retrieve down here. As you can probably tell, Straight, there's just not a whole lot of room to do a whole lot more. And so we have to give a message, we have to talk about this kind of stuff. But at the same time, we're limited. Now, this is better than a lot of shows. As far as, a lot of shows that we're at is just simply a stage. Right, so a lot of the shows that it's a 10 by 10 stage, then there's really not much that we can do. So this is definitely a little bit of an entertainment factor we can provide with the retrieves, but at the same side, we can't show blinds or anything. So that's where this screen has come in so handy, because what we've been doing is showing and pulling content from the season, and we can show it up here. So we showed one of Strike's big blinds. As you can probably imagine, if you're sitting in this audience here and you've never seen a blind retrieve before, and then you can see it up on that screen, it's a very impressive thing to watch. And then you also understand what I'm talking about if I'm talking about certain training techniques. So this is really interesting. From here, we're going to go to Pheasant Fest. Now, Pheasant Fest is a much different crowd, much different audience, and so the message and speaking engagement will be a little different. But so far, Strike has been just doing fantastic, right, buddy? So we're gonna keep warming up here, but I thought it was kind of fun to show you guys this, and then here in a little bit I'll go backstage, and you'll meet Ben and kind of see some of the behind the scenes, because this is a production and he does a great job at it. So stay tuned. All right, so now we're behind the scenes with my buddy Ben, and we're getting all queued up so that up there we're gonna be able to see what's going on here. So as you can see, Ben's got the whole system here decked out. We're just kind of lining up. The big thing for me on this specific show is that a lot of times this right here is going to mean the difference between someone understanding what I'm talking about and not. So a lot of people here have never seen a dog run a blind retrieve, right? So I can talk about it, but unless you've seen it, you really can't put it into perspective, right? So if you know what I'm talking about with a blind retrieve, you probably remember the first time you saw one run. I know I do. And it was that, wow, I can't believe a dog can actually do that. So that's what I'm doing here, is kind of showing off, because I just can't do that on the stage. So a lot of behind the scenes stuff, this kind of stuff, obviously you come, you see it. It's kind of fun to see the behind the scenes, because as you can see, there's a lot that goes into this production-wise that I am certainly not talented enough to do. So that's why we got to have good guys like Ben to take care of us. All right, so now we go from behind the scenes to now out here, and you can see everybody's kind of starting to filter in here. We still have quite a while before the seminar starts, but this place will pack up pretty well. So I usually try to get Strike out here, one, so he can kind of get loosened up, but then two, just kind of get some retrieves, give some people some stuff to watch. And what's so funny about this show is that he has actually got a little stage fright, He's been kind of sitting here with his head down a little bit, and this is no different than people, right? So some people are very comfortable speaking in front of people. Some people aren't. Some dogs aren't. I know that sounds weird. It sounds like I'm humanizing them, and maybe I am to a point, but it's crazy how this environment, tons of people, tons of commotion, and he's just got a little stage fright here. He's been much better here these last couple days, but I found it kind of funny as he's sitting here looking at everybody going around. So we're gonna do our thing, but thought it would be fun to kind of bring you behind the scenes on what goes on this stuff. So ready, big dog? Ready to be the star of the show? Here we go.